They tell us that, look, why are we shallow? Because they see so many signboards. But they always wonder that whenever you're talking about 419, which name do you associate with it? Nigeria. So for me, I think that's why I'm saying that it's like about what? Something has happened there. It's happening again. Now, we're forced into this. Basically, maybe because we voted for change, which is one, and then because this cycle will happen again. This is just telling us that it's just time for us to do things. And I look at it from this perspective. Building on that looking inwards, that it's time to go back to the basics. The whole thing the government has been preaching about is the basics, agriculture. I'm young, I'm still growing up. But I know in many of those times, and the truth is like, I did part of my early years in the village, or maybe in the town setting, not really in the city. And I knew what I saw then. And you know, when you read when we're in school, those times, talk about the Kano pyramids and all of those things. So which is like, it's time to really look at things and focus on what we can do as a nation. And then, if I take that again to my own, maybe looking at it from my own perspective as well, I would like to speak a bit about...
So that I don't lose that point, because you made the inference. So should we all down tools and go to our villages and go and be farmers? I want us to be clear.
Hold on.
Okay, because there's been a lot of talk about agriculture, and indeed agriculture is valid, but can everybody do agriculture? I've found people today, because there are many, many forums today about, agriculture, and there are professionals who know nothing about agriculture, who have decided, let me go and get a piece of land, and I think that there's a lot more that goes into it. Agriculture itself is a technical field, and at the end of the day, I think the real value is in agri-processing. It's because we've always grown, but we cannot process. So we take we take the raw material, we consume most of it. Whatever is left, we export for very little, and then they bring back the processed material, and we pay in excess. So why I'm saying that is because I want us to make sure that we don't we don't misinterpret your point.
Okay.
Agriculture is a big space, but where really is the value to be added?
Okay, thank you very much, and I think you've really helped me, because I was just trying to use this as an illustration.
Okay.
That's like going back to the basics. If you look at it nationally as a government, in terms of what contributes to our GDP, you've said that it's been all. We knew all this all the while, but from day one, that was actually what was contributing to what? Contributing fully to our GDP. It only changed over time, and over time we just moved from that and moved on. Now, when I'm using agriculture and saying going back to the basics national, coming back to my own space, for instance, in my own sector, let me look at it in this perspective. I've been in information security for some time, and sometimes my views looks a bit different, and that's because like almost year in, year out, people make budgets, and you build those budgets on just buying solution, buying solution, buying solution, buying solution, which means every year the budget keeps what? Increasing with big things to actually buy. Where exactly am I going by saying this? I'm saying rather, he was saying something in terms of skill. If I'm looking at an organization and I try to align our goals, taking information security with our business goal, I define things, and then I set an architecture, I set a roadmap, I set a plan, maybe 5 years, a 3-year, a 2-year, and I can look at all the issues I face with my threads and my rigs. I can ask, okay, how do I want to address this? Now, what happens is that I'm taking the driving seat, and I'm driving things, so I know exactly what I want. Versus when it comes to like, today we talk about, maybe yesterday we were talking about DDoS. Today we talk about ransomware. Next time we'll talk about web attacks, and we keep saying this. And almost every time, a vendor comes to you and says, look, I brought this solution. It will do this for you. After it's done this, just go to sleep. Don't worry. You get them to install. You don't even know what they're doing. They send you on training. You go on training together. You enjoy the training. You come back, and you deploy the solution. And then the next day, something happens. Okay. No, the industry is dynamic. Things keep what? Changing. Now, the next thing you need to buy is this. So what I'm even saying now, if you look at information security generally, there's so much hype. Everybody's talking about APT, persistent attack, and we keep talking about it. But I'm asking myself, look, what exactly? To be very frank, I'm still trying to define what exactly is what? APT. So what am I saying? it's time, depending or regardless of your sector, for us to go to the basic. And what's the basic for me, if I look at things in that perspective? I talk about backup. Just backup. If you really do the basic things, you won't need to worry about the high, lofty, or grand things. So that's why I was giving an example of like the agriculture. If you actually embed, do the basic first and make sure those things are done, I think, and you drive on the journey, you will get to where you're going. I don't think it won't be an issue. And that's where, what I was trying to say, what I said, look, going back to the basics. So I'm not saying that we should down our what? Or should all down our tools. I remember then when Obasanjo was in government then, and one day was in a national, what do you call it, news. I was asking the guy, asking him if I said, look, Oga, do you have a farm in your backyard? If I'm not a professional, I won't do that. But the truth is, like, if I have a vision to go into something, I need to know the bit. I need to know the skill. I need to get what I need to help me in that area. So that's what I was trying to say when I said going back to what? The basics. And if I take this even further again, many of these countries, give an example of Dubai. The truth was that South Korea today, I don't know where they are today, but really, maybe perhaps they are even more developed, or maybe they are developed, if you allow me to use those terms. But the truth is that they woke up from the ashes of war. Situations happen. So the truth is, like, look, we're in such a situation now. We've got that nail jet. It is time to wake up and begin to do what? Look inwards and dig deep. And we can't continue to depend. It's time for us to come up with things that will help us as a nation and as individuals. Adding more to that from the payment perspective, I'll try to talk a bit on the regulatory perspective. I think there's been a push for cashless. There's been so much talk, and I think that has affected also in the payment industry. Oh, cashless, cashless. But what has really happened is that the so-called recession has opened room, because now you find out that you can actually, you're being pushed by the bigger environment around you to use means that are cheap, that are easier. So which means for us, it's not just about risk, it's also about what? A great opportunity. There's so much drives from the bank, from partners generally, to go into that space, which is more like, oh, this is making, what do you call it? Things. So it's like an opportunity. So you might be talking about recession across, but the truth is that some are actually benefiting from the so-called recession environment.